You come first,
Tak start. Okay. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. A very good morning to heads of department, coordinators, lecturers, and fellow members of Kuliah of Information and Technology, International Islamic University of Malaysia. Welcome to the Seminar of Knowledge Management in XR. I am your host, Mohd Hazman Syafiq bin Rodzi, a third-year student of Bachelor Information Technology. Before we start our event today, let's recite Surah Al-Fatiha. Today, our topic is about knowledge management in XR. We, the KSCT family, are very honored to be in this discussion and talks regarding the topic. The topic will be presented by the speaker. Before we begin, let me read you biography of the speaker. Dr. Fakhrul Hazman Yusoff, who is a senior lecturer at the Faculty of Computer and Mathematical Science, University Technology Mara. He holds AWS Certified Cloud Practitioner since August 2020. He is also a recipient of a US Asian Fulbright Visiting Scholar for 2017 and 2018, and visiting full professor at Southern University, Baton Rouge, Louisiana, 2018 until 2020. He graduated with Bachelor of Science Management Information System from Case Western Reserve University, Ohio.
Sorry, Hazman. Sorry to interrupt. Hazman.
Full professor at
I think you have to off the speaker for Oni. Maybe you are open up the YouTube.
He graduated
So
with
we
Bachelor of
can
Science
hear the
Management
double
Information System
sounds
from
from
Case
you.
Western Reserve University. No, not from me, mate.
Sorry, Hazman. Sorry.
Okay, no more sound. You can proceed, Brother Hazman.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, let's continue about. He graduated with Bachelor of Science Management Information System from Case Western Reserve University, Ohio, USA at 1998. He earned his Master of Science Information Technology from University Putra Malaysia at 2001 and obtained his doctorate in Computer Graphics 2011. That was also from University Putra Malaysia. He was the chair of IEEE Malaysia Computer Chapter from 2014 until 2015 and Computer Society IEEE Distinguished Visitor under IEEE Distinguished Visitor Program for the term 2017 until 2019, whereby he gives lectures to the institution around the world under the banner of IEEE. He is currently the president for Fulbright Alumni Association Malaysia for the term 2020 to 2022. In terms of academic, he sat in various committees at the university, national and international level, inclusive of Malaysia Ministry of Education, Malaysia Public Service Department, Malaysian Examination Council, and Kurita Water and Environment Foundation in Japan, while serving as a resource person for various computer-related courses at the faculty. In terms of research, he focused on several areas, including gamification, IoT, blockchain, and mobile-based healthcare system deployment. With his latest endeavors includes implementation of the said areas in supply chain, cloud environment, and deep learning. All in all, he is always on the lookout to leverage to the knowledge he acquired throughout his more than 20 plus years of working experience for the betterment of society in general. What a great honor for us to have him today, and what a great person he is in the eyes of people around him. I hope all the participants to mute the microphone on this session. Without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, please join me to welcome Dr. Fakhrul Hazman Yusoff to give his knowledge sharing.
So thank you, Mr. Hazman, who shared the same name with me, because mine is Fakhrul Hazman, but your Fakhrul Hazman Syafiq. Oh, okay, a bit of sharing over there. It's fine. It's fine. That's good. We want to share things. I'm from my office. I'm sorry if my office is not that that beautiful. There's some chips at the background over there. I mean, we just proceed with that. First of all, I will say thank you for Kuliah of ICT of IIU for inviting me today to give a talk about 1 hour talk on knowledge management in extended reality. So of course, my page is computer graphics, and I'm from the Department of Multimedia. So the talk today, I'm going to, get in the multimedia, the extended reality in the perspective of knowledge management. How can we use extended reality for the knowledge management purpose? So that will be my my goal today. So let me share my screen. I'm going to share my desktop. All right. So where is that screen? Okay, this is the screen. I've skipped so many things. Okay, so that will be the topic for today, which is knowledge management in XR. Okay, as a custom, as usual, I think if you are coming from the knowledge management, this is quite something that you are used to. I just give you the definition, which is the knowledge management is about the collection of methods relating to creating, sharing, using, and managing the knowledge. Right, so it's about that. It's about the and then we have another one: capturing, storing, sharing, and effectively managing the knowledge, right? And another, I think this is one of the person that we cite on knowledge management, is the knowledge management is the process of capturing, distributing, and effectively using the knowledge. So definitely in terms of knowledge management, the goal or the objective is how can we, first you want to capture the knowledge, how to get the knowledge from whatever source that we have, from human, from transaction, from response, environment, whatnot, and then how can we, store it and share the knowledge, or how to get something out of this knowledge, right? So that is the definition of knowledge management, just to give some refresh or definition. Okay, so today we want to look into this extended reality. So what is this all about, extended reality? So because nowadays, for example, Facebook is going big on the metaverse, right? So metaverse there, metaverse here, and then in between, you will have, for example, people from the cryptocurrency are talking about NFT, non-fungible token, and those kind of thing. They are also related with having these graphics, this 3D avatar and whatnot that is implemented in terms of the graphics, right? So extended reality is one of the field. I mean, one of the field when we're talking about the graphic. So if you have over here the definition, I got this from this website. The GPS strategies is a catch-all term for VR, AR, and mixed reality. So apparently nowadays we have three field under this reality realm. One is we have the virtual reality. I think that's the first one. The first one, we have the virtual reality, right? And then from the virtual reality, we have another one which we call the augmented reality, and the latest one is we have the so-called mixed reality. And all these combined, then they refer this as the extended reality. So these are the definitions of it: the VR, fictionalized space, user-aware headset. So the VR, we have to wear headset, right? And then the AR is you will have a video overlay. So video overlay with graphics, that will be the AR. You have a video streaming, and then you have some graphics, that will be the AR. And then we have the MR, which use both element of AR and VR. Okay. So, there's another illustration on the XR. We start with our real life, where in our real life, we have physical environment and things around us. And then from there, we try to integrate that with the computer world. We try to integrate with the digital world. So we have three offerings, which are part of the extended reality, the AR, MR, and the VR. So the AR, as I said just now, physical overlaid with a digital layer. And then the word here, the AR, is about overlaying. You overlay graphics and the video. I mean, the graphics and the real world, you overlay that. In terms of the MR, the keyword here is the interaction. So how can the digital world, the graphic world, being integrated with the video, not only integrate with the video, but we can play or we can interact with those graphics. So that will be under the mixed reality. The keyword for the VR is you will have the immersion or the immersive. So immersive digital environment is you will be inside the system. You will feel you'll be inside the system. That's why you have this goggle, they call it, is it goggle or headset, right? So you have this headset, and the headset, if you wear it, so you will feel that you'll be inside the system, the graphical system. So those are referred as a virtual reality. So I think definitely that is the clear-cut definition. But oftentimes in the real world application and in the real world system, people just combine this, they just integrate this one and another. So, it's quite hard to tell, is this AR or is this VR? Because actually right now, most of us are moving towards the MR, because the MR will have some element from the AR, some element from the VR. So most what you see today most probably will lie under the mixed reality. And I think because of this mix of mixture, right? Because of integration between AR and VR and the MR. So that's why some proponent would say that they label it as extended reality. Okay. So yeah, another perspective, another view. When we talk about AR, by default nowadays we talk about AR is you have your mobile phone, you put your mobile phone to an image, and then you have some labeling. That is AR. That is the easiest definition. Although you have some other variety of it, so this is the easiest definition. Whereas the VR, you be inside the system, and that the graphics will be produced into your display. The MR is the advanced ones, which is nowadays we have the virtual and real interaction, okay, where you can interact with the object. Okay. So some commentary by, for example, these IBM experts. So the XR enables digital information to live in physical world. Okay, so I think this is about how to seamlessly have the digital world with the physical, how to make them work together, right? Because before this, in the digital world, if you want to do digital world, you have to open your laptop, you have to open your phone, and then type the browser, right? So before this, the concept is you have a browser. So the digital world reside inside the browser. So the XR attempt to have those digital and physical to be seamless. I mean, you don't notice it's there. Okay, it's there. So yeah, this is again another illustration or definition of those definitions: the VR, the MR, the extended reality, and the augmented reality. So basically, this one is actually the everything of this. The VR and MR is you combine that, you have the extended reality. Okay. So a bit on the timeline nowadays. So we have like this is like a 10-year interval of a timeline, right? So within 10 years, so of course we have the PC in the 80s. We have the PC, and then it moved into the web. So we have the web, the internet, and so on. And then in the 2000s, the web, the PC has moved into the mobile phone. And then in the mobile phone, I think because at this time even the processing is still slow, so you cannot have that advanced graphic, advanced image processing and whatnot. So the technology did not expanded from the mobile. So you still have, for example, in the 2010 and so on, we have the virtual reality goggle over here, right? So you have the development of the goggle, okay, on its own. So you just have some independent development. So, and then in the 20s, I mean, right now, what we have, the extended reality, there will be the effort where you have the mobile phone. So you have the mobile phone and you have, for example, the eyewear, which represent the display system. So the display system is no more like this one, but it's more like a mix between the one that you can see and the one that is being projected by the screen, right? Yeah, just to reiterate again, the goal here, what is the goal, for example, in terms of the extended reality? The goal here is try to have a seamless implementation of everything into one system, right? Before this, we have in our car, we have, this is our windscreen, right? This is our windscreen, and this is our system, the UI dashboard system, and then I think, yeah, I mean, something like that. And of course, you will have inside here, you have some sensors. You have some sensors, GPS sensors, and then you also have the CCTV, the view cam inside, in front of your car and whatnot. But nowadays, what they want is the ideal one is to have the convergence of all this. So in the display system, you will have everything over there. You'll be interlinked. I think that is the ideal definition. The ideal definition. So the screen, the windscreen, will have multiple layer. One is for the the digital information labeling, and another one is the real world that you can see. Okay, so moving on to the workplace. So excuse me, I'm going to hide this floating window. Okay, AR and VR. Okay, so this one, another article that is very interesting. How actually this AR and VR and this XR, how does it affect the workplace? So definitely, when we talk about the knowledge management, we want to we focus on the workplace. We want to look at how does it affect the workplace itself, right? So first, it will reimagine how we work is done, right? So reimagine. So the XR we reimagine how and where work is done. I think it's already here right now, right? How we work, how and where we work is being redefined. It has been accelerated by work from home, right? From the COVID-19. So now we are going to imagine how can we work nowadays. So that's one, right? Another one is to enhance employee productivity and reduce the costs. So when we say reduction of the cost, there are various aspects of reduction of the cost. The first one is when you are online, definitely you don't have to travel for your meeting. Especially if you are working globally, then your colleagues will be from another country, from India, from US. So that will save costs. That's one. Another one is your whatever is in digital form. See, if you cannot see that the product that you are playing with, the product that you are planning to come up with, it's online. Right? It's digital form. So if before this, maybe you need to have drafts of papers. You have papers, you have some model, physical model, you use polystyrene, you use clay model and whatnot to come up with the model and discuss with your teammate. But nowadays, since you have this digital form, then all those costs can be ignored, right? So we can use a digital platform for that. So it can increase productivity and reduce the cost. And another one is to cultivate vibrant and collaborative workplace, right? So I think this is also another goal for the extended reality is the need for cultivating a vibrant and collaborative workplace. I think we can have research on this one, how in terms of the acceptance or the response of the employee, of the staff on this matter, right? So yeah, I'm highlighting several benefits. Again, I'm continuing with several benefits of the extended reality. First is the improved learning, definitely in terms of the knowledge management. You want to have the acquisition of knowledge, how to learn something and whatnot. By having an XR, it will have this improvement, right? So of course, some of the concern would be if you are trying to learning in a hazardous situation. You have two. One is the hazardous situation, and another one is you have a costly situation. Costly situation, for example, a simulation that the pilot, not only the pilot, I think the one, the captain of the ship, if you are applying for the captain of the ship license, and the pilot license. So definitely, if you use this technology, it is good for you, right? I think this has been known for quite a while. But to taking to the next level is you will have this so-called hazardous situation. For example, you want to do some training on chemical handling, oil and oil and gas. So oil and gas, you have a chemical handling, the mining, you have toxic gas situation. So we can recreate this inside the extended reality, and then that will help a lot to the user or the customer. So because you have a better customer experience, so by having that, so now we can integrate so many things on your body, not only on your display, right? So that is a benefit of the XR. So the enabling remote work, of course, these are the mantra today. So the mantra today is we have the online, system, work from home. And then although the COVID has ended, there are actually some resistance to working physically. Right? So now people are proposing on what are the ways to enable this remote work. 20 years ago, 30 years ago, we have telecommuting. The words before this, the telecommuting. Okay. So how do you spell it? Something like that. So the telecommuting. So the telecommuting, the problem with telecommuting is because I think it's not that immersive, right? It's not, you cannot feel the physical. It's just like it's just a phone call or something. Like you access through a phone call or things like that. So not that successful, I must say. But with XR, the extended reality, now the concept of telecommuting have give new breath of life into the remote working. Right? So that is one of the things that is being promoted, for example, by Metaverse. They want to create an environment, the 3D environment, the avatar and whatnot, so that, for example, we can have those digital office over there and work over there, right? So digital office online and work online. So yeah, of course, yeah, there's one of the step back before would be the network speed, but that issue has been gradually being addressed with, by, for example, like nowadays we have the 5G, and hopefully that can solve that network issue, right? So enhance entertainment experience. So this is another benefit of it. So this one is on the entertainment. So I'm not sure what else can you do in the entertainment. Yeah, we have the 3D movie before this. But I have yet to see, an improvement from there. But we do have, for example, in gaming, right? So the in game, we have so many technologies, so many gaming concepts being put forward by the game industry, right? So Pokemon, for example, right? So Pokemon, Pokemon Go, right? The Pokemon Go is the usage of AR to play game. That is a big hit with many people. Now with the esports, the price is very attractive, and the price of esports is very attractive. It goes all the way to 1 million, 2 million price, right? And it's very, very easy to join. You have a computer, you have some props, and you can join and play and participate in esports competition, eyeing for price of up to $100,000, $200,000, right? Okay, so yeah, applications, entertainment, like I mentioned just now. In the marketing, so the extended reality is one step further for example, Shopee or Lazada or the e-commerce that we have nowadays, right? So the e-commerce that we have nowadays, we have a 2D file, we have a flat file. So, and hopefully it enabled viewing of a 3D object. Okay, we already have the technology. We already have a technology, 3D object viewer online. But then I think it has not taken off. But I think eventually it will take off in that sense. Excuse me. So the real estate, definitely the extended reality is being used in the real estate. Again, nowadays you because of the COVID, people cannot go, and if you want to buy house, maybe there's some restriction to go to the house. So you have to use the VR or AR to view your house. Another thing is, if you are rich, right? If you are very rich, super rich, you want to buy a house in London, right? You want to buy a house in London, or want to buy one beach, maybe in Caribbean, right? If you want to, you don't have to go there right now, right? What you have to do is you can go through this extended reality tools and have a tour to the property of your interest. And another one is, of course, the healthcare. There's already, I think this one is again another extension of the telemedicine, right? Medicine. Before this, you have the telemedicine, but definitely the problem with telemedicine is the need for you to have a thorough check, for example, right? You have thorough check or visual check. For the time being, one of the way they did is, for example, you have a video or you have a 2D image, right? It's still, a video is not that extensive because it's still a 2D image, like a 2D image. So by having a 3D model, so it is better medicine, telemedicine, right? So with a 3D model, that will be better off in terms of the healthcare, right? Tourism. There are two things about the tourism that I can tell you. One is, of course, if you want to go somewhere, if you want to go somewhere, you want to maybe first look at it, right? Or I want to go to Geneva, right? Or Switzerland. Maybe I want to, I want to go to Geneva, but I also want to go to Rio de Janeiro, right? Brazil. I'm a rich guy. I want to go to Brazil or Switzerland, right? So before I spend my money on my first class ticket, my first 5-star hotel, I may want to look into, some virtual tour and whatnot. That is one point. Another point about the tourism industry is once you are there, right? And then you end your holiday. So, maybe you spend your holiday for 1 week and then you ended your holiday and you come back, right? You want to have this, you want to remember those, right? You want to remember those places. Oh, this is the hotel, the Marriott hotel that we stayed, or these are the lake that we go. What's they call it? There is a Switzerland. There is this Jungfraujoch. I'm not sure what's it. So that the ski resort. Oh, the Jungfraujoch. I want to go there. I'm sorry if the pronunciation is wrong, but you are there. You play ski, and then when you come back, or you want to rekindle those memories, right? You want to rekindle those memories, or once in a while you want to see again. Oh, I want to go to Jungfraujoch again. So I want to know what is up to right now, right? So that is another application, and definitely for Muslims, definitely they always want to look at Mecca or Medina, right? They want to have this ambient feeling, or because you perform the Hajj, or you perform the Umrah before, and I miss those ambient of Mecca and Medina. I want to feel that again. Then you can have this website or application or system where you go and you wear your goggle, right? And then you can have that ambient. So yeah, that is one of the application of it. And definitely the manufacturing and industry, that's common in terms of improve safety measures, develop effective training, diagnose real-time issues. So I think this one is, if you look at the worker side, right, of the worker, if you are talking about the manufacturing industry, the safety measures, the development, effective training, and real-time issues. So these are issues that is very important for the industry, for the enterprise to look at, right? Safety measures. For example, you will have areas, hazardous areas, and things like that. If you wear your goggle, right, then you can see, okay, these are the red zone, these are the blue zone. Right? You don't have to have like extensive labeling all over the place, right? And develop effective training. The remote work, okay, I have mentioned just now in terms of the remote work. Okay, so moving on, what are actually the challenge? So extended reality is good. So for the industry, for the company, for the enterprise, it's good. What will be the challenge that we have nowadays? One of the challenge will be the cost. So definitely this is still a new technology. So, the equipment are still expensive, admittedly, right? Okay, that's one. Another one would be there's some health concern. There's some health concerns. Some people may be adversely affected when they wear these too much stimulants, too many stimulants. So that's another issue. Another issue would be the hardware, the UI and the view problem. I think these are also our struggle, right? Because now the world is in the 3D. It's a 3D world. How to create those coordinate system, X, Y, Z for them, because now 3D is X, Y, and Z. So if you have this file open button, so how to place it, right? So that is the UI issue, right? So the menu, so will it obstruct the view or whatnot, right? So and then of course the famous one will be the view problem, right? The view problem is you will actually, if you look over here, if this is your camera, then you have a variety of image, right? And then but then these are equal, so this is the same as this one and as this one. So we need to compute that so that you be this. So yeah, these are the challenge, the hardware issues, the post problem they call it. Okay, and of course we have a skepticism. So people are skeptic. Okay, and another one regarding, for example, the data privacy and security, because remember now we can track whatever you do. Okay, so we can track not only whatever you do, whatever you type, whatever you open, things we can log or whatever your transaction, right? So that will be some concerns in terms of the privacy and security. Yeah. So moving on, I want to talk about the motivation. So, okay, so I just talked about the extended reality, its benefit, what it's good for, right? So knowledge management. So what will be the motivation if you want to use the extended reality, right? So I know the knowledge management is about gathering knowledge, optimizing knowledge, things, and sharing knowledge and whatnot. How, why do you want to use the extended reality? What was the motivation? So I can highlight about 4 motivation. One is because of the non-keyboard mouse interaction, or a more general one would be the contactless. And then we have non-physical limit. And then another important one is the multimodal computing, right? So yeah, the first motivation is we have moved away from the PC. So we have to remove or delete or delete or reassess our paradigm in terms of what will be the input device, right? Because the keyboard and mouse is the PC. It's a PC concept of doing computing. You have the keyboard and mouse. So now, like for example, the mobile phone or touch based. Okay, right? Although the mobile phone are touch based, they are still, have this influence from the keyboard, right? So you have the pop-up keyboard, is still keyboard, but gradually, that is not the case, right? I mean, it can be a direct sensor. It can be direct sensor, right? So yeah, but we still, for example, like mobile phone, we still, when you click somewhere, then the mobile keyboard, the keyboard will pop up. Okay, that is an indicator of gradual movement from the actual physical keyboard into the digital version. But I don't know, like 5 years from now, I'm not sure how the keyboard will look like, the implementation or manifestation of keyboard will look like. Because you already have input a variety of, for example, the IoT sensors, we have other varieties of input, direct input, right? For example, by sensors like this one is temperature sensors and whatnot. And as you know, we have Google Translate, right? Google Translate voice to text technology. It's here. I do know some of my students who are from China, the mainland China, from Shanghai. What they did is they opened their Zoom and then they open the caption. I think even you guys open the caption. If you have you watch a video, there is this caption features, right? So yeah, of course, before this we Malaysian read captions from the TV, right? We read caption. We watch Kush Kush Hota Hai. Of course, I have to watch caption. Definitely, I have to watch. Right? But nowadays, before this, the caption are manually prepared by some team of people. But nowadays, the caption are now automatically done using the AI, artificial intelligence, right? So since the voice can be translated into the text, so yeah, the next because the text can be just words, right? It can be just some sentence, some instructions, right? So So that is another alternative where you don't need a keyboard anymore. I mean, you don't need someone to manually type UIA. You don't you don't have to type UIA. I just say UIA and the software will know it's a UIN and A and put it as an input, right? So that will be the motivation. Another motivation would be contactless. So nowadays, I mean that's the requirement. We need to use contactless because to avoid germs and whatnot. That's why. Well, I'm not. I don't like. For example, you go to Secret Recipe. What else? Secret Recipe, Nando, Kenny Rogers. So all these upscale restaurant nowadays, they ask you to use a QR code for the menu, right? I don't like it, right? But yeah, I mean, they are moving to a set which is a contactless interaction. The same thing with the payment. We have the Itashengo and whatnot, right? Another motivation would be non-physical limitation. So suddenly people, not only people, the bosses, right? The bosses, the employers, right? So the employers realize, so now I can make meeting from all over Malaysia without having to pay a ticket or hotel for people, right? So they suddenly began to issue some command to have an online meeting between Kedah, Sarawak, Sabah. Oh, you don't have to come, right? So non-physical limitation. So how can we do it? So of course, by default nowadays we use like Zoom, like WebEx or Microsoft Team, right? You have some faces on your screen, but by using extended reality, we can have a rich, a more immersive, a more sense to it, right? A better sensation to it, right? So that will be a non-physical limitation. And the last one is the fact that the world is about multimodal. They call it the multimodal computing. So multimodal, because ultimately human will receive, when you communicate with human, you have multiple, you receive multiple, how do you call it, the sense, right? Because you will hear the voice, you will see visually the communication, you will have the voice, and sometimes the person will touch you or you touch something. So the communication will have a visual, biosignal sensors and so on. So if you, we are confined with a text only or keyboard only, then we will miss out with other model, other mode. So the mode is, for example, the sound mode, the sensor mode. So we miss those out. Before this, we don't do that because it is very expensive, processing very slow. But nowadays, it is doable, right? It is doable. It's very relatively fast, right? So another slide over here. Right, so this is an example. For example, we can put sensors all over your body. For example, like this one, right? And then it can be processed inside your computer. So this is another motivation why this extended reality. You need to consider those extended reality. So extended reality can be leveraged to address the listed motivation, definitely, because extended reality is strive towards this or this. So they don't, you don't have the non-keyboard, it's not contactless, non-physical, and definitely it's multimodal, because when you talk, you use your hand. When you talk, you use your hand, and the display is on the screen and whatnot. Okay. All right. So just a bit overview, just some refreshment. So the type of knowledge management system, definitely the knowledge management system, there are lots of knowledge management system in various fields, right? We have the customer relationship, applicant tracking, shared project files, feedback, database, lesson learn research, communities, internal knowledge base, and external knowledge. So there are lots of opportunities that extended reality can be implemented or applied on, right? And of course, the main type would be, for example, is a knowledge work, intelligent technique, and enterprise-wide knowledge management. So I just saying a few. I'm going to skip this, right? So yeah, what are the opportunities over here? So I look at this graph of knowledge cycle over here. The knowledge cycle, you have the create, capture, refine, store, manage, and disseminate. So for each of these, you will have, for example, for the create, you can create user activity because the word is seamless. So we want to do a seamless creation. Capture can also can be done user voluntary or involuntary. So these are one of the controversy over here, right? It's a voluntary or involuntary. Involuntary meaning that you also record, for example, the movement or what how the user click there and here and there, right? So XR are able to do that, okay, and combine with sensor. And then not only that, not only your click, right? You have many things. For example, if it's a health application, it will record your heartbeat, your blood pressure and whatnot, right? And then we can refine it, can show data in various angle, so you can have a different insights. Yeah, we definitely have a angle, or you can reconstruct the in graphics differently, right? And the store allow richer storage concept of multimedia data. Manage the data can be like managing box. So because XR, this is not a file based or text based. So we have file before this because it's text. You print some text and you put into the file. But if you look at the XR, so it is more related to the tangible world. I think more tangible. I think some people are more comfortable with the tangible world. You have objects and you put it in the boxes and so on. So yeah, and the last of the cycle is the dissemination. Sorry for the typo there. So the enhanced user experience, so you disseminate information, right, and better for better understanding. Right? So, so these are the some a survey, IT decision maker survey. What are current enterprise usage of extended reality? So, most of the enterprise nowadays use XR for product visualization, virtual collaboration, job training, classroom-based training, data visualization, 3D mapping, and remote assistance. So yeah, most of it is on the product visualization. Definitely, I think if you want to market something, that will be the core business of our enterprise. So that's why that is important. The next important thing is the classroom. Over here, the last thing is the remote, the remote assistant. Yeah, there's certain issues on this on the remote assistance. Okay. Okay. Do we have time? We have like 5 more minutes or so. I have like 9 more slides. Let me just go fast on my slide first. And if you have time, then we can show some videos. Right? Yeah. So these are the extended reality, right? So you will have, for example, your goggle here, Google. I always mix up Google or Goggle. Okay, so we have the goggle here. The goggle we make this appear, right? So you have your information over there. So that will guide the user to do something. Like if you are worker at the manufacturing, it's a worker manufacturing. So now, no, you don't have to be an expert to do this. That saves lots of time. If not, of course, you have to spend time on training, and maybe even if you spend time on training, you still need some guidance on what to do. Because you cannot remember everything. Like you have like 1,000 steps, right? So the system can help you. So of course, the fashion, augmented reality, Yeah, and the shopping, definitely you can visualize. I think this is has been with us for a while. This is like transforming from the drawing into the real one, I think. Yep. Yeah, and this is on training. This is on training, where if you wear the goggle, right? If your staff are doing some training, and then yeah. So for example, over here is identify what mistakes do you see around you. So if you went with the goggle, and then the trainee can identify what would be the mistake. Not only that you can record whether the trainee identify the mistake or not, but you can record how the trainee go about, right? Where the trainee look first. So that is also important. Where the trainee, will the trainee look at these first, or will the trainee look over here first, and then the third one, then you highlight this one, for example. So that is also important, right? That is also important. This is like your UI study, the HCI study, but it's more advanced because now it's recorded directly through your whatever headset. Right? Yeah, this one same with the previous one. Electronic manufacturer, yeah, definitely the electronic manufacturer. It's tricky, right? You have the map. You want to assemble the circuits. Of course, the challenge is circuit can be complicated. If before this, you can only ask the manufacturing worker to assemble a simple system, right? But with this kind of technology now, it is possible to have a bit more sophisticated system, right? Yeah. And then I have a video on the HoloLens. I mean, Microsoft promote this HoloLens for the extended reality. And if you notice, it is not just VR, because this is a clear lens spec and clear eyewear, meaning that you can see. It is not like the VR. As VR, you cannot see, right? All right, so I have two more slides. Don't worry, I have two more slides to go. So the outlook, content creation is so definitely the technology are there. But the focus now is to create the content, right? The training content, whatever marketing content. That will be the challenge nowadays. We can take the cue from the gaming industry. So we have gaming industry is very expensive. Can go all because it's like a movie making, $100 million. Of equipment and so on. So cost can be prohibitive. And another thing that we are facing, so please beware for those young generation who are going to be bosses someday. You have these issues, the time zone, moral ethics, and values, because now we are at a global interaction. There's a time zone. You cannot, please don't ask people to do meeting at 3 o'clock in the morning, for example. But sometimes you cannot help it, right? So there are cases like that. Like there was this case from the TikTok that the person just resigned because he ended like having to go for meeting non-stop, like 20 hours per day, because one is from Asia, another one is from the US. So that's the issue. And another is the moral and ethics. So I talked to a JAKIM person yesterday. I was in KDN, Kementerian Dalam Negeri. So there's a JAKIM officer. I think he mentioned about the values, because the system nowadays are being developed by the West, and not only by the West, but by independent people, and sometimes they don't have any values. So, and we use it. Sometimes it's a form of normalization. We now use it. It seems fine for us, but it's not. So that is a question that we challenge, talking about the values. Okay. So conclusion, XR is coming in one form or another. But when we can start with a content creation, nowadays you can start with content creation. We have to be ready in adopting the technology, because it's coming as a practitioner, as a society or user. So also please be aware. That's why I put a roadblocks over here. You see, there are issues, right? Because for example, people are misusing the roadblocks for their own ulterior motive and so on, and not so good intention, right? So there is an issue. So yeah, we have to look into those issues also. So that's it from me. How much time do we have? Can we have a video? Do you want to have a video or what? Hazman.
Right now we have a 4 minute left.
Okay.
I think we just proceed to the question.
Okay, fine.
Is it better?
Sure.
Okay.
I can stop sharing first.
Okay, for anyone that have a question, we open the floor to put at the chat box in the Zoom meeting or the YouTube. Are we ready? Please do it now.
Okay, let me do this. Okay, we receive a question in the chat box. I'm going to play this video because this video is like 1 minute, sure. Something like that. All right.
Okay, sure.
Okay. So, where is that? Already prepared. So we have this. So you can hear, right, Hazman?
Yes, doctor, we can hear it.
Okay. So this is
what we're trying to do is reinvent the way people buy cars. So it should no longer be a static experience. It's a real-time, interactive, personalized experience.
So definitely for the because it's quite expensive, right? So for the high-end luxury car and whatnot, so we have the company like BMW has taken the initiative to utilize these devices for the customer use, to visualize their car and whatnot. So you can use these devices.
We created this experience which shows off the car. It lets the users explore, see the details, customize and really see every part of the car with eye tracking, and that meant
so
we
you
could push
use
the quality
Vive.
even higher. We implemented foveated render. We get massively improved
the
visuals.
thing about this is it's not only for the customer to buy things, but it's also for the company to study how the customer, in the process of buying the car, for example, where does it look?
Massively improved visuals with a minimal extra cost. And for us, it's all about achieving
looking at the preference and so on. So yeah, for example, over here,
we were able to use that to capture analytic data as well.
You see, so eye tracking allow for real-time analysis and yeah, something like that, right? Oh, I'm supposed. So that's the first video. Right? Okay. Okay. So we have several questions. Hazman, do you want to read the question, or I just read the question?
It's okay, I will read it.
Okay.
Okay, from the Abdul Razak Usman. This is one question as a conductor. I want to ask about what is the disadvantage from using the XR?
Okay, so salam. So the extended reality is still new, right? So like everything else in the world, you have advantage and disadvantage. So definitely one of the disadvantage, the default one would be some health concern. Maybe some people cannot tolerate the because you have flicker. I mean, the flicker of the display system, because now your eye has to pay attention to both the real world and the information, the digital information. So we have to juggle those things. So that is yet to be established how hazardous that can be, right? So that is one of the disadvantage for the time being. Aside for the scores are difficult to create lah. Okay. Okay, next
So
question.
another one is from the Hanan.
Mhm.
The question is, one of the challenge of XR is the cost effective. So which area of field should our nation focus on first? Defense, medic, or IT? And the second question is about do we have to achieve the minimum requirement for Malaysia to implement the XR in our industry?
Okay, so thank you for the question, Azhan. The thing is about the computer, we are actually at the back, we are the engine. So we have to serve everyone. So that is the boon and bane of the computer society. I mean, yeah, us as a computer fraternity, that is the boon and bane for us lah. Because actually, everyone has to be computerized, wherever is defense, medic. So defense and medic will be the customer of the IT. Though. We have the IT, right? So the IT is us. The IT is us. We are going to serve them. So seems like everything is looking towards us. So be it whatever, the defense, manufacturing, medic, okay. But definitely, if you want to worried, of course, like Malaysia, we have embarked into this digitalization initiative. So that is a good way to start. So we have this digitalization initiative. So whoever in Malaysia, the industry, we have to put the digitalization agenda at the top of their priority. So how to implement that? So then they have to sort after us lah, the computer industry. The minimum requirement for Malaysia to implement the XR in our industry. Okay. Actually, there are opportunities. There are opportunities for us to implement the XR. I think the only thing is the willingness or the unwillingness of the top people. When I say top people, it doesn't have to be the government alone, right? So the top people can be the industry leaders, can be the companies, and also the government. Also, they don't have money, right? So that's one thing. But yeah, I mean, we need to have the willingness of these people to implement. So yeah, we have the the resources to do so, definitely. All right. Okay, next question, Hazman.
Okay, for the next question is from the Hazmi. About the navigation virtuality in the car, is it possible to implement it on the motorcycle so it can be used for delivery rider?
Yeah, definitely. There is one prototype for motorcycle. Yeah, I cannot remember the name, but there is one. It's being developed. It has been put into the Kickstarter before, but somehow it was I think didn't be completed. I think because of the cost. Because at that time the cost is quite expensive. Maybe you can search over here. How to AR on bike helmet. Do we have that? So yeah, I think we have see over here. We have this one.
Build your brand online with a beautiful logo. Just go to Wix Logo Maker.
Cross Helmet X1. Blind spots with the use of advanced HUD technology, and it has been shown to project images.
So it's a long video.
Other riders at a distance of up to 1.6. Argon
okay, because we're out of time, so I just want to show. Okay, so we do have that. All right, Hazman.
Okay. From Muni Mahmud. Is it? Wait. The question still typing.
Oh, still typing. Okay, fine. So
Yeah,
we have that the thing. I think one of the biggest argument today is about the policy, the privacy of human being. I think in the West that is always the issues, because when we have this technology, we will invade people's privacy. You know, there are laws in Europe. There are laws in Europe that you have to ask for people's approval if you want to take their picture. You know, take their picture. I mean, if they're in your video, then you have to ask their approval. That is the law. So that with the dilemma. For example, if you want to capture this while you are riding, you know, you ride a few centimeters, then you have to ask the guy in front of you, can I take your picture? Another one, because people can sue you. So that is the stumbling block for the dinding because of that legal issue. Yeah. So yeah.
I think there's no more question, Doctor.
Okay,
So,
that's my question. Okay. Salam.
Okay.
Dr. Fakhrul, thank you very much for sharing your knowledge with us.
Thank you.
I think I have a very simple questions that I would like to actually to get your perspective and views. We know that the technology grow or advance very fast. What is your take or your opinion about the impacts towards the society? And you know, if you could share your thoughts about, you know, how our society, the young one or the old one, or the digital native or non-digital native, would react towards it.
Yeah, I think that's a good question. Yeah, I think this is something that as a old person want to pesan-pesan pada adik-adik this young generation, right? Because sometimes we are caught with this you know, passionate about the technology and whatnot, right? Because okay, so for example, like now in Malaysia, we have this agenda of 4IR, industrial revolution, right? If we have this industrial revolution, we talk about artificial intelligence, blockchain and whatnot. But one thing that we always have to remember is the human factor, right? The human factor. We shouldn't forget about the human factor. Like I said just now. Now we are touted that using this technology is now physical is not a problem, right? But the problem is, when physical is not a problem, then you can have a meeting at 3 a.m. or you have a WhatsApp at 12 a.m. It's already happening right now. Your bosses send email or WhatsApp, not email, WhatsApp at 12 a.m. On Saturday. That's happening right now. So we don't want that. I mean, as your generation, I think when you become a boss, have the opportunity to become a boss, please have a clear rule on this issue. That's why in Japan, we have Society 5.0. I think in Japan, realizing that the quality of life is very important. So they not only embark into this IR 4.0 or 4IR, they also embark in Society 5.0. Society 5.0 is essentially about the quality of life. If it's not improving your quality of life, so I think it defeats the purpose. It shouldn't be the purpose. But like today, I mean, so many things to be done in short time, right? So that will be your challenge. I think that the new generation challenge. How can we solve this? I mean, this is more on, it can be look into the political aspect, the political front, the agenda, politically agenda. How, because like before this, the policy of meeting, for example, the government institution, you must have 3 days of invitation letter. Invitation letter is 3 days, and then you come to the meeting, right? But nowadays you have a WhatsApp. Don't forget tomorrow 8 in the morning you have a meeting. That is like 10 p.m. the day before. So it become haywire. So now we cannot. There is no because we don't have a clear policy on that. So we cannot, caught that thing. We cannot catch that thing. So I think hopefully the things can get better later on this kind of human quality issue. Yeah, that's my response. So thank you,
Thank you so much, Doctor.
Yeah.
That is very, enlightening. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Dr. Muni, for the question. And thank you for everyone that attending and have a question just now. And before we end the session, let's take the photo session. Everyone, please turn on your camera. We will capture together. Okay. Before we end the session, now we have come to the end of seminar. On behalf of organizer, I would like to thank all of you for being here. With the knowledge we got today, we hope Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala receive as our pahala and our effort. Amin Rabbal Alamin. Let's end our session with recitation Tasbih Kafar and Surah Al-As. Okay, that's it, everyone. Wabillahi taufiq wal hidayah. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. And hope to see you again, inshallah. Jazakumullah khairan katsiran. Thank you, everyone.
Waalaikumsalam, and have a nice day, everyone.
Thank you, Dr. Fakhrul.
Thank you. Thank you for
Dr.
inviting.
Fakhrul.
You.
Thank you.
Thank you.